Anyway, my name's maiwase. I'm from Sticks Church, and I just thought I'd share with everyone and how I got saved. I got saved on the 20th of June, and it happened in Spain, funny enough. When I turned 18, I went through my rebellious period and I was doing all the bad stuff I thought was cool. Anyway, the time we arranged the girly holiday was my friend's 18th birthday. So I said we'll go away to Tenerife in Spain. Anyway, I rang the office up because I'm not British, but I've got permanent leave to stay here. I rang them up to ask them if I needed a visa. I mean, this is the head office, so they're meant to know everything. They told me that no, I didn't need anything, and since I was going to uni, I just needed a few pay slips and I was going to be fine. So anyway, I set off for my holiday, all excited. I got there and they said, oh no, I changed the rules, I couldn't go into their country. And I needed a visa, and I didn't have it. Anyway, I was with 3 other friends, so I thought, alright, you go off on your holiday. They went off, and they kept me in a police cell. We arrived at 9 o'clock at night there, and there wasn't a plane, because what they do is they find that you don't have the legal papers to go in that country. They put you on the next plane back, and there wasn't any planes coming back that night. So I had to wait till 10 o'clock the next evening. But because I was illegal, I wasn't meant to move anywhere, so they kept me in the cell. So during that time, anyway, I had time to think to myself. I just sat there with nobody there with me, no network on my phone. I couldn't ring anybody. No one knew what was happening to me. I was completely and utterly alone. But I remember Jesus because I used to go to church and all sorts. And I asked him to come into my life there and then. It wasn't something that I just got up and say, oh Jesus, come into my life now, I'm ready. Because I was far from ready. But it was something that I had to do. I opened up my heart and genuinely asked for him to come into my heart, because I knew that what I'd been doing was wrong and the path I was going on wasn't the right one. So I genuinely did ask, and when I asked, it wasn't like this magic thing where everything went away and everything was alright. As a matter of fact, when I asked, it was worse, because it was like this cloud had moved away from on top of my head and I could see everything clearly. And all my seeing and everything I was doing bad was like made clear and stuck to me. And I could really see it. Whereas before, I'd make an excuse. I'd know I was doing wrong, but I'd make an excuse and I'd be like, alright then, forget about it. But I remembered all my sin and I could see it, and I knew that if anything happened to me that night, heaven wasn't the place I was going to go, because I could clearly see my sin there. And I'd asked Jesus to come into my heart, but with that came, well, I hated myself a bit because I was sinning all this while, and I found it very hard to accept that somebody would forgive me for all those things I used to do that were bad. But anyway, when I asked God to come into my life on the 19th. I went back and sat on the chair, and they took me and put me in this cell. Mind you, everyone spoke Spanish, so I couldn't speak to anyone. And I was in this cell from 10 o'clock on the 19th to 10 o'clock the next night, so that was about 24 hours I was in the cell on my own, and I had time to think. The reason why I say that I really got saved on the 20th, because that was the day I felt physically felt my sin being washed away. Because I sat there. I mean, on the actual 19th, if after I'd asked God to come into my life, if they said, oh, there's a plane for you, let's go back to England, I would have forgotten about all that. I'd have been on partying away, as if I wasn't the one asking God to come into my life. But because he knew me so well, I believe he knows everyone. He knew me so well, and he convinced me in a certain way that suited me, that suited the way I think and the type of person I am. So I spent that 24 hours going over everything that I've ever felt in my life, because I mean, going through teenage years, people do things to you, you don't even say, you just bottle it up inside, you've got all this emotion, you just bottle it up, you're angry, you're doing those things. You don't even know why. So I had to go back within myself and search myself and really ask God to forgive me, because I knew I'd really sinned and I'd done something so wrong to him, and I couldn't understand how he could forgive me. So over all that 24 hours, I physically felt my sin being washed away. And I kept on asking myself, I think this is a question we all should ask ourselves. I woke up at 1 thinking, if you died today, where would you go? And my answer was in heaven. And that terrified me, because I knew for sure that I wasn't going to heaven. And I asked myself that same question about 4 times. That's how I knew I wasn't real. Because my answer was that I wasn't going to heaven, and if I'd really been born again, and if I'd really accepted God, I would say yes straight away. But because I had so much stuff to sort out, I couldn't. And finally, 10 o'clock came. I spent all this time praying while I was in there, because I didn't have a Bible or anything. 10 o'clock came and they took me to that plane, and as I was sat in that plane, I thought, what if this plane blew up right now? Where would you go? And I knew for sure that my answer was yes from then on. And I knew that I had been saved. So I just want to encourage everyone. I was the one who was lost. God is not lost. Jesus is not lost. We are the ones who are. So all you have to do is ask and open up your heart. Some of us might have asked and say, oh, I've asked 100 times and it never happened. But I asked for a whole day and night. And it never really did happen, because Jesus saw that there was something in my heart that wasn't right. So you might think, oh, I've prayed over and over again and it's never happened. Well, it's because you haven't really put your all into it. And I think we're all grown up enough to know right from wrong. So I don't think there's any excuse saying I'm young, because we know what's right from wrong. And it's a question we need to ask ourselves. If we had to die today, right now, if this church blew up, where would we go? So I just wanted to share with everyone, and I feel very blessed, and I just want to thank God for coming into my life, and I thought I'd share with you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening.